No thermostat. There's no thermostat down here. After you take the intake off and take this other piece off, there's no thermostat. Supposedly this is the thermostat housing in the front, but no. This disconnects, but I'm not going to take it off because I don't want to change that seal. I had to remove that fuel line right there. Plugged it up. It's 21 millimeter. Also got this guy off. And this has got to be the thermostat because it has something in there, some mechanism. So it's got to be electronic somehow. Also, there's another one in there. It's like a spring. See it better. There's not a lot of information on this vehicle, so we'll have to change this entire piece right here. Oh well, good old Nissan. Let me just save everybody some time because there is no info. So don't waste your time looking for a thermostat up here. It's not up here. It's not behind that. You don't have to take off the intake manifold to remove this piece right here in the front. And I believe this is going to be the thermostat right here. I'm not 100% sure, but let's save some time and I'll do all this work. And no thermostat in here. No thermostat anywhere in here. No thermostat anywhere in here. This is called the thermostat housing. According to the study on the diagram, there is no thermostat in there either. We're looking into a 2018. And the starter is up there, but there is no thermostat in there. And I already stuck my hand in here where the water pump is at. The thermostat's not back there either. This is a water pump. And that is the starter. This is where the intake sits. I had to remove this fuel line. The fuel line sitting over here, just tucked in. Got a 21 millimeter. This one is being slower, very slow. Again, let me show you. It's a newer model. Beautiful truck, beautiful. Bestiality. And 2018, I can't show you the VIN number, but I can show you what year it is. That's it. It's a very nice truck. Love driving this thing. Amazing. All right, everybody. So here we have the first step. Well, I took this part off. Well, you're not going to need to. So we have a hose down there that I removed. It's right here. I didn't have to because you're not going to have to remove this. You don't have to remove that whole piece. But we do have a hose down there, which I found it a little bit easier to just remove the hose from down there. See that one? Okay, so I still have the old unit put together with all the hoses on it, and we have confirmed that yeah, that is the thermostat. I spoke with the people at the dealership. So this is the part that I took apart. I'll put it back together and show you guys again. But this is a new one. This is dealer item. Don't forget that we need this gasket. This is a crush gasket. It's a metal crush gasket. And there's the part number there. 11062. And we're gonna continue with the part itself. And the guy at the dealership was telling me that this is the thermostat. This is the way that it works. Is that this little spring in here, it does this thing when it's time to do its thing. And it's got another one in there. It works in a certain way. But yes, we have confirmed it. This is the thermostat. I'm going to put it together, put all the hoses together, make it look like this one. Because I have these right here. So it's a little confusing. Because I myself was trying to figure out, what is this? You know? And it's all one unit. And it all goes in together. There's no way you could just take this out and just replace this, or there's no way you could just replace that. That's not doable. We'll get back to it. Okay, now I got this 21mm fuel line. It's the banjo, you know, the banjo. So the fuel line. The good thing is it has a like a dual O-ring, but it's kind of in a weird spot, so gotta get it in there first. All right, and it goes right under there. I'm gonna put it in now. All right. It has its own stopper. It'll stop itself right there. See it? And then down there, it'll stop itself right there too. See what I mean? Let me show you. So yeah, it is kind of in a pretty tight spot, but this is the fuel line. And again, this one's going to take the 21mm. So I usually get like a big bar and I'll tighten it with that. And that's the fuel. That's a fuel line. And it goes up here. And it goes down following that way. Come back this way. And it goes to a fuel pressure regulator there. And then from there it doesn't function. It goes back down in here into the injectors. Alright, so here we are, side by side. We have all the hoses. This is all side by side. Notice, when you take off these hose clamps, they have to go back on exactly the same way they came off. You cannot put this in a different direction because it'll leak. Up here too, I marked, you can hardly see it, but I have marked all the way to here. And I have marked right there too where it's going to go. It has to go exactly the same way. Everything exactly the same. Hoses need to fit just the same way. Up here, also been marked. These hose clamps need to go exactly the same way they were. You cannot turn them. See that? This has been marked. That's been marked. That side has been marked, and so does that one. So we're going to transfer them. Okay, so everything's cleaned. I'm going to put that metal crush sleeve gasket. Also right there in between these two. Surfaces are all cleaned up, brake cleaner. The only thing I want to show is this right here. On down there. Down there, there's that hose. There's a coolant running through it. That's going to be this one down here. So that is the first one I'm going to worry about when I install this down there. Then we'll continue. Okay, so I say one thing and the thing does another. Over here on this side, I had to get this side on first. And I haven't done that down there yet. That's still there, still waiting on me. I have to figure that one out later. Anyways, back to the emission. You see how the hose is there? I gotta reconnect that. I gotta figure that out, but I'll figure that out in a little bit. So we have 4 12mm bolts. This one here in the edge is the longest one, 12mm. Down there, you can't really see it, but I can show you. Down there is the bottom one. I got a small extension on it with a 12, and I was able to get that one down there. It's the only one you can't see, and then we got one here. One more 12mm bolt right here. And the last one up there on top. So it's just 4 bolts. The gasket is sitting in between it already. With making sure that it's on there straight. Like it should be. So we'll continue. Okay, so don't do what I did. Do not do what I did. I'm going to have to take this part off again. I have to go back down there again. Back down there. And I have to install that hose down there properly. Because I cannot get it on there. I cannot get it on there no matter what I do. I cannot get it on there. So I'm going to have to remove this one more time. Those 4 bolts. And then put it back together. So do not install this. Do not tighten these 4 bolts yet. Until that bottom hose goes on first. And then that one. Alright, I gotta see this. I gotta make sure it's straight. There you are, pretty one. Pretty one. Okay. That seems fine. Okay. Alright, we continue. Alright, here we go. This is what it looks like with the intake manifold on it. You don't really need to remove the intake to remove that thermostat. I just removed it because there's no information, and on the diagram it says the thermostat housing is down there, so that's the reason why I took it off. But there's nothing to it. We got this hose that runs this way. We gotta put this one on first. It goes right here. This is where the cooling goes to. This is for the heater on that side. See where it goes. Then we got one hose right here. All the hoses are going to come in little by little. One hose there for the intake. And then we got another hose over there for the intake as well. I already tightened this intake. There we go. See it? See that hose that goes there? Okay, and what else we got? We got this wire right here. I did remove the throttle body. It did help me to remove the throttle body out of the way. And those are 4 bolts. They're 8mm bolts. Those are 8mm bolts. And we have another bracket up here that I removed. It just helped me a little bit. That thermostat housing, that is just the thing you gotta figure out, you know? There's no info on these cars. I'm bringing it to you. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just letting people know that's how it goes. Okay, everything is hooked up. Let's go through all these hoses. I would really recommend replacing this hose right here. This hose is kind of weird. And then we got, that's connected, everything's connected, everything's been double checked. Running through it. There's a little hose down there. Right here where this throttle body is at. This is the only one I disconnected from the throttle body. It helps me move it out the way easier. This one I didn't disconnect it, I left it there. All I need now is this shroud for the intake. It goes here. I already got everything installed, so I'm gonna put coal in it after this and I'm gonna start it. Alright, I took this baby for a test drive already. Beautiful ride. I love driving this thing. Let's check the temperature. It's been sitting here for a while. Alrighty, we're good on that. AC is on. Very nice ride. One of the nicest rides I've ever drove. Okay. Everything's running great. That hose up there